God bless you. Thank you for joining us here at the Temple of Clarity for, some say, a meditation, but it's something different. I want to talk about my lineage a little bit. And early on, there was a teaching about the keeper of the flame. And the keeper of the flame in the Ascended Masters is within every spiritual organization. There is someone, at least one, that will keep the flame of God love, God consciousness, God power, and hold that for the whole group. When the Ascended Masters came years and years ago in the early 1900s and formed these societies and groups and communities, we were all keepers of the flame. There was this mass expansion of the flame. And today we see so many keepers of the flame in every tradition. There are so many beautiful examples of ones that have chosen to emanate the light, become the light, shine the light. A keeper of the flame is more than just a book. It's more than just a teaching. It's more than just a philosophy. It is pure vibration, pure energy, pure light, pure love. And that's what we are. All the mind stuff, all the mind games, and all the different philosophies that are out there have nothing. Some point to the flame, but it doesn't matter if you don't light the flame. Every philosophy has that. I remember in college I was taking philosophy courses. Dead words, lifeless, no flame. And then to actually encounter the flame for the first time. Seeing reality as it is, seeing a reflection of the divine that I'd never seen before, that was beyond words. That's what we are. That. You don't have to join any organization. You don't have to confess Jesus is your Savior. Buddha is your Lord. Krishna is Vishnu. Nothing like that at all. It is pure energy, pure love. That is the holy truth. So tonight, as we go into the pure source, frequency, light, vibration, energy of it all, and we offer ourselves on the altar of Almighty God to see, to know, to dare, to be. That is the journey. That is the purpose of meditation. Let's do it. Please pray silently with me. Father, Mother, God, unquestionable love from out the four directions. We magnetize you here, O Holy One, O pure light, pure love, pure vibration, the Om. Light the candle of planet Earth. Like the Big Bang, let us all expand this universe as we radiate like suns, as we love with crystal clarity, as we merge into the source of the I Am. Come, holy ones from Venus, Arcturus. Come, Buddha, from out the great silence. Come, O holy ones from the Loka of Vishnu. We open the door between heaven and earth. Let the new day begin. So we'll have our short meditation now. coming back. We're going to go back into this concept. We're going to go back into this concept of the keeper of the flame, the keeper of the vibration. As you close your eyes and you make your choice to hold the vibration within your body, to be the living temple, the container, the chalice, the one who has chosen. The one who has crucified the ego. Let it go. And then with the eye of your soul, see your spirit directly, beyond all labels. The body is the living temple. And then to keep it in your mental body, in your mind, the purpose, the Dharma, the reason. And expanding out to your etheric fire body, holding that. Divine memory, the birth of the universe, the birth of your soul. Bringing that into your physical body again, as all bodies unite. Now we light the candle with our emotional body, our love, our joy, our choice. Breathe life into that God flame. Bring life into that inner memory. Bring life into the very vibration of every part of your being, from top to bottom. Each cell, each atom, each particle living God realization. The vibration is I choose to see the light. I choose to be the light. I choose to love the light. There. Pure spirit. The essence. Now we unite with all those who have ever walked the walk, kept the flame, all those in heaven, all those in earth, all those beyond time and space. And we become a giant magnet that attracts this beautiful vibration of God consciousness and God awareness to this earth. And we magnetize it down from the higher realms. Now holding that space, loving that space, controlling the space. Being that space. Like the Buddha. Like the Christ. Welcome back. During the meditation, I had the weirdest, transmission, I guess. I heard energy equals light times the speed of light squared. And then consciousness equals awareness times, maybe you can add the rest, Greg. I don't know. It's something along that line, isn't it? It's like a metaphysical formula. It has to be.
If it's a formula, I would say it is consciousness is awareness squared. Because consciousness is awareness of awareness.
Awareness of awareness. That is so cool. So interesting too.
And if you really want to have fun, go into a meditation and notice awareness of awareness, and then let that ripple like in a mirror, so then you get awareness of awareness of your awareness of awareness, right? And the more it feeds, try it at home.
Not while you're driving.
Not while you're driving.
I was thinking too of, since I was talking about philosophy, that I think, therefore I am, should be upgraded.
Yeah, I think therefore I am is sixth chakra. Wisdom, as seen from the sixth chakra. And so if you pull your wisdom from higher than that, you will draw the awareness that you just drew. Because from higher than that, thinking has nothing to do with it. you are before you think.
Right.
Because you always were.
Right.
You think?
Elizabeth, you had the same insight, or?
With the awareness squared, I had the same exact insight.
Yeah.
Awareness to the power of love. That's an exponent.
Well, for just sharing, before the meditation, I had a call from a friend, a light worker, and her grandson is going to have surgery, and there was heaviness, like she was dealing with the possibility of all that would entail in the medical world, and what could go right, what could go wrong. And so she was reaching out to me, and I said, well, there's some good news. The good news is that he'll have to change his diet. He'll have to be a vegetarian. the good news is that there'll be a shift now in his consciousness, because the universe created this opportunity for this expansion, to this seeing, this understanding of, you just can't put in, what you put in the temple, you have to be very careful of the vibration and the energy of it. And his body he wasn't noticing that the body was under stress or duration. I said, the body naturally, effortlessly is trying to achieve perfect health without us even trying. That is what it does. It's always trying to. Some things that we give it could hurt it, cause stress, cause other problems. And so he was not listening. He was not paying attention. But there's going to be a new seeing, a new growing in this experience. And his journey is just beginning. And because he chose you as his grandmother, and I know his mom too, who are very advanced souls, he knew that you would one day have the answer for him. You would have these insights and these reminders, because he's part of your soul family. It's just how it works. And so the conversation became very light. It just reminded her, she had forgotten, that yes, that's all true. And I said, you don't even have to when the conversation that you'll have with him will be effortless. It will be coming from your higher self. He will remember every word. That's the gospel, the good news. So, yes, it sounds like there's this major surgery coming up, but that's not what it really is. It's some sort of journey that he's doing. You're helping. The answer's there. It's all going to be fine. And when I said it, I knew it was true. She knew it was true. And it was like shortly before Greg arrived, I just had that, it was like a very, powerful release. I reminded her, she's going to remind her grandson, and her daughter, his mom. And then when he does, or if he even has to have any kind of surgery, maybe it will all just dissolve because the connection was made. It's not necessary anymore. We don't know. And so the idea of being there for somebody when they are going through a life and death situation, to be able to keep the flame, to hold the vibration, hold the frequency, hold the vision of the highest outcome possible, and their highest purpose being fulfilled, is what light workers and light sharers do. It's what we do. So we can go out there and whatever is going on, in our personal lives, in the world. It's just bring it back to source. Bring it back to the highest vision. Bring it back into the light. So that was just a little sharing. I'm sure everybody has their own stories, but that was just a very powerful little opening of spirit right there, a few minutes before the meditation group. Anybody else have anything to share? Elizabeth?
Yeah, I have a couple shares. So, I want to share about my experience with Amma.
Nice.
Yeah, I went there with awareness of this little feeling of, am I betraying my relationship with Divine Mother Saima, right? By going to see Divine Mother Amma. And so a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of guilt. And, I knew that was the mind just creating a separation, and I would just go into oneness. And I just kept opening myself and surrendering. And what I thought was interesting is that the darshan that I received was the same bliss. My experience of the darshan was just the same bliss. And so just that beautiful reminder that there really only is oneness,
Beautiful. Light is light.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what room you're in,
Yeah.
what country you're in, what universe you're in.
Yeah, yes. And then I also thought it was significant to share that, so Saima's birthday is on August 2nd, and the work has already started. And so Ma shared with us that Master Jesus and Archangel Michael came to Ma and said, go to this church. And so Ma went to the church and walked in, and on the stage, instead of there being a cross, there was, I'm assuming it was a Christian church, instead of there being a cross, there was just one beautiful sculpture, but just a vertical pole, just the vertical part of the cross, right? And it was this teaching that our consciousness as humanity, right, with this church representing it, is moving into ascension consciousness, that the verticality really just demonstrated the teaching of ascension, which is why Master Jesus came to the planet, was to teach ascension. And according to this, and it's not about the sins or the crucifixion, right, but it really is about the ascension of our consciousness and the ascension of our matter. And so I thought that's worth celebrating, the wave of the future.
It's beautiful that Saima's having these encounters, and she's, I remember my guru, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, I called her Guru Ma. I just called her Mother. But in the organization, we called her Guru Ma. She would get these inspirations too. As long as she got, her whole life she would be getting these inspirations to do things, and it become like a major study within the organization. An understanding of a new revelatory insight would come, and that's how progressive revelation is. And I think even on Jesus's journey, he was coming into new, beautiful understandings as it was, as it was being seen for the, by the first time.
Some information that I was shown a couple months ago about the life and times of Jesus on the planet and its relationship to the ascension of humankind. And it actually gives the energetic purpose of the crucifixion and the resurrection. So when he came into Earth, the vibration of humanity as a whole was lower than the vibration of the heart chakra. So most of humanity was living in their lower three chakras. During the 33 years he was on the planet, and including the abuse that he suffered before he was put on the cross, and his suffering on the cross was essentially gathering the negativity, healing the negativity in humanity so that the vibration of humanity as a whole could be above the level of the heart chakra for the first time. So it literally opened up the next level of our energetic ascension and made it much more accessible, because it's kind of like if it's completely virgin jungle and no one has ever been there, then how the heck do you go in? But if there's a path, you can follow it. And that, for me, was such a beautiful relief in terms of being able to internalize the pain of his experience at the end, which always felt so just wrong. And it's like, oh, well, no wonder he was calm. It's like, yeah, this is how it ends.
Yeah, to sign up for that is just like mind-blowing in itself, to, be that sacrifice to, yeah. I love how you've expressed that. And the Saima, that's so interesting. She goes to this church, she sees they get rid of the cross, and they just have a pole there.
Not a pole, it was just, the vertical piece of the cross.
Yeah. It's a message there for all of us. And so I'm sure there's like more and more is going to be coming out of that. Go ahead, Lisa.
I recently listened to a heart stream by Melchizedek, and he was talking about unity and oneness. And it makes sense. We have a lot of people that aren't there yet. And I think there's more than a few that are making progress on their ascension. And as this unity field of consciousness, unity field of beingness, we help everybody. You work together to raise the whole planet. And the planet is a living creature. It has consciousness. And that was one of the things that Melchizedek talked about, was that, we have to take care of the water and the air, and as it's part of yourself, and so these are all interesting warnings, that everyone knows about, and it's really easy to sort of put them aside. But the point that we are all moving toward our ascension individually, but we're also kind of doing it together in this force field. They call it the unity field of beingness. And I find that personally very comforting, because there are some very cosmic beings part of that are part of this earth that are helping us. And, Saima and David Lewis and, you know, Amma. You know, there are many that are rocketing to the sun, and we are, you know, I for one am hanging on for all I'm worth. So I think we can all be very optimistic about it, and mostly what we're seeing, you know, especially in the news, is, you know, it's like old news. You know, it's weeks, months, years maybe behind what's really going on, because it starts at the etheric level and then moves into the physical. So it is very interesting. I'm grateful to be here at this time, because I do think that this is a very, very special time for us all.
That also causes me to want to share something that I have been thinking about in the current time, when so much of what is going on out there seems, for lack of a better term, confusing. And at least for me, I see lots of people in the tone of, how could you think like that? How could you be like that? How could you not see? And to remember when that sort of outrage comes up and rises in our being, to remember back to the days when your soul was not yet aware of Source, or was not yet relating to Source, or not yet realizing your oneness with Source. These are ideas, or these are truths that you have to rise up into. And so someone who is vibrating below where those truths are available, that's how they can think that way. And that's perfect, because they need to think that way until they don't think that way, and they stop thinking. Right? But our resistance, even when there's a higher truth in what we may believe, we can't invite others to it from a place of, you have to see this, because that immediately creates separation and resistance, and causes humans to double down, is my experience.
Yes, double down.
So say, it's awfully inconvenient that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. My dear friend, I wish you were experiencing something different. And the most that I can do is to be the truth that I experience. And as much as they can vibrate with that, they will. And everything else is exactly perfect, even if it's painful theater. End of PSA.
And I believe thoughts are things. And when we send love, compassion, understanding, I mean, you know, I know sometimes it's hard, but, you know, when you try to see people at their highest and best, I had said that to my physical therapist today, you know, send nice thoughts, send kind thoughts, send compassionate thoughts, and you know, she was instructing me as how she talked to her kids. Maybe that person is having a bad day. Don't make your judgment. She was talking about her 14-year-old child, and she said, don't make that judgment on one experience, because that person, You just don't know what they've been through that day. And I thought that was so wise. I thought, yeah, because it's easy, people can kind of, give you the wrong impression, and giving them that, cutting that slack, give them that grace, that it's not a great day, and even if it isn't a normal day for them, send them love anyway, because we can help the planet through our love, through our thoughts, through our prayers, and our actions. I just believe it, you're being that light. You're radiating that light.
A humbling thing that I've learned on my path is that everything that is without is within. So everybody is a reflection of me, even if it's living in my unconscious. The external war, I'm somehow contributing from any internal war that's occurring inside, even if it's a small conflict, right? That's the energy of conflict and war. Rage, ignorance, grief. I mean, we can go on and on. Things, energies that we don't perceive as illumination, right? There's the light inside of rage. There's actually a little sparkle of light inside of rage. And so I just think that, when I notice my mind or my ego creating that separation and the judgment to separate, I immediately try to practice, I won't say immediately, I get around to practicing, where is that within me? And right away I can find it. And sometimes it's in the past, right? Like it's not something I relate to anymore, but I can say, I remember when I really embodied that, or when I was creating from that place, or, right? That had got the best of me or whatever. So I think,
I love that because so it's Ho'oponopono, it's like we just kind of like own it, purify it, release it, back, purify it out, keep working it out. I love that teaching, Ho'oponopono.
And just to add to that, I would invite us all to give ourselves the full credit that we deserve also, in that it's not just, you can go and find it inside yourself, but the real question is, what's your relationship to it inside yourself? So like just a memory of, I remember when I was mad. You're not being that then. It's just a memory. Now, if you remember being mad and anger comes up, well then you got, now I have work to do. Because I am still that. But the full credit part, the full appreciation part is when we can see the turmoil and see the pain and see the anger and see the frustration and go, wow, that makes me really sad. And that's not mine. It's ours. But I'm not pulled into the vortex of it.
Yeah, the energy of it.
I'm just like, oh bummer.
The observer.
Oh bummer. From the bottom of my heart, I wish this felt different for these people. But it doesn't. So I will love them where they are the best I can, knowing that they're doing the best they can in this moment, even if that's not very impressive. And certainly can own I know how I have been in times when I've been triggered into a low vibration. Yes. I've done silly, stupid, dumb things that I regret. Yeah. Because that was the best I could find in that moment, and that's what happens.
And that's wisdom, isn't it? Being able to make the right choice right now.
Hopefully it's then be able to go, and I shall not do that again.
Well, Uri Ma loved the consciousness is the awareness of awareness. She wrote in the chat. I do too. She's home. So we'll just wrap this up, this sharing. I know somebody online needed to hear this. And we were all the instrument of spirit and source and reminders of this. So as we just go ahead and open up our spiritual eye one more time, connecting to the pure light of the I Am, that you are. And we hold that awareness of that awareness here and now. And we see Mother Earth smiling at us. And we're accepting that smile as unquestionable love. And we bring that to everyone on earth as we walk this earth, as we breathe this air, drink this water, eat this food. Release into the consciousness of mankind this understanding. And we call to you, O holy angels, to maximize this light, maximize this realization. Move it where it needs to go. On planet Earth, in our families, in our relationships, in the hearts and minds of mankind. As we inwardly direct you here and now, to all those places, and let it so manifest. I want to say, I love you, Uri Ma. Thank you. God bless you, everyone on the live stream. Norman, I know you're watching. Marcos, Eric, David, all of our soul family. Everyone in the etheric realms above us, around us, who are watching this from the other side. And all the stars in the heaven, Arcturus, Sirius, Helios and Vesta. The whole universe. Good night, everyone. We'll be broadcasting again tomorrow for the Divine Mother Worship Service, which has turned into the biggest phenomenon that's happening. So many people are watching online. It's like a thing. It's happening. The Divine Mother is happening. Good night.
Rachel was like